Man, listen, folks, today is the day. You know, the case has gone cold for a little while, but today is the day. It is the preliminary hearing for the one and only D4vd. Okay. You know, he's asked for a lot of things before this trial date, or I should say, this preliminary hearing. He wanted a haircut, he wanted to not be shackled, he wanted to wear regular clothes. There's all types of requests he's asking for because I feel like he wants to present himself to the rest of the world as innocent, right? But we all know, allegedly, of course, that this kid ain't innocent at all, right? So today is going to be the day where everybody lays out their evidence. Everybody's going to lay out their evidence, and the judge is going to decide whether or not this goes to trial. And I don't see any other way than David going to trial. If anything other than that happens today, I would be quite surprised. But before we even get into the preliminary hearing, as far as it's gone, I want to show you guys the conditions that David has been living in. Because as time has gotten closer to this hearing, more information has come out to how David's living. Even the size of him right now, 125 pounds. Your kid is in there starving and suffering and stressing. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into the whole preliminary hearing, I want to show you guys a few things that I found that just show you the level of suffering that David is experiencing. Let's go ahead and check this thing out.
So some of you might be wondering why David is in orange rather than the traditional county blue. My name is Tiffany Blacknell. I've been a lawyer for 23 years in LA County in criminal law, and I have gone to the jail that David's in a million times, including just Thursday.
Man, listen, listen, I never want to go to that place. Holy shit, it's scary. Going to the LA County Jail? Fuck no. They put them blue jumpsuits in front of you? Yeah, you know you done fucked up. If you ever get some blue jumpsuits placed in front of you, you done fucked up immensely, right? But anyways, so she's going to basically break down what category David is in and how life is going. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so if you're a general population in county jail, you wear blue, like a darker blue. If you are gay, they sometimes put you in light blue. If you are a porter or someone who they give a responsibility outside the cell, like cleaning up or serving food, you get to wear light green. If you are mentally ill and on medication, you get to wear yellow top, blue bottoms. If you are another medical situation, not mental, but like physical, cancer, whatever, you wear brown, okay? If you are high power.
And the yellow does check out because Nick Reiner was indeed in a yellow jumpsuit. He had the little protective thing over him because they didn't want him to do anything to himself after he killed his father and his mom. But he did have that yellow underneath him, basically saying he's a little kooky up there. He's a little cuckoo, a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of wild how they color code you, just like wires to a car or like a product in a assembly line, because that's how they see you. You know, that's all you are. You're a number. You're a product. You make money for these people. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about you. And I'm so happy that David is experiencing this statistic like lifestyle. He always felt like he was the star of the show, the little cute, little introspective one. Now you're just a random fucking number. It must be a shell shock for him just thinking about that. But let's keep on pushing.
Power or notorious, you are a special handle. You are wearing orange top, orange bottoms. You're also wearing waist chains and leg irons, okay?
My bad, y'all. Let me back that up real quick. She was just explaining why David is an orange. Let's check it out.
You wear brown, okay? If you are high power or notorious, you are a special handle. You are wearing orange top, orange bottoms. You're also wearing waist chains and leg irons, okay? Think Suge Knight. Whenever he would come into court, you would oftentimes see him in the orange. Now, ironically, in David's case, they're putting him in a single man cell to protect him. He's notorious, right? That's why he's in orange. However, his neighbors are the most dangerous, right? Oddly enough. Like, although he's in a cell by himself, I heard it said by someone who was incarcerated that everyone on his row, he's in orange, everyone on his row has been accused of murdering someone within the facility. Okay? We're talking about high power Mexican mafia. We're talking about people who have committed crimes in the jails or in prisons. People who have some shot calling power are the fellas in orange. So when you hear those change, ching, 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 you know you got a real one coming in court, okay? Unless
And it's gotta be hilarious, him with his little artistic pimple patch having ass around a whole bunch of actual murderers. Now, let's keep it real. David, from all we've understood, allegedly is a cold blooded murderer himself. But I don't think he's at the level of somebody like the Mexican mafia or somebody who could just, blind face murder somebody's whole family without even thinking about it. Maybe he's just this killer, but I feel like he's gonna have a rude awakening to what real bad motherfuckers look like while he's back in jail. Now, like she's saying, he's always going to be supervised, but hopefully he doesn't step on anybody's toes because you always hear about somebody getting caught up in maximum security prison and all of a sudden they're dead. There's a few people there's a lot of people we could probably point our finger to. I'm not even going to get into that, but yeah, so now hold on, listen, you might want to take the word from AG Tactical with our new sponsor today called Money Pilot. All right. Money Pilot's an app that you could download on your phone that allows you to claim class action lawsuits that you're eligible for. And it's automatic. I always bring up Yahoo with the class action lawsuit that was able to net me $325 just by looking into it. So if you guys are interested, make sure you go download it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like it.
they're famous, which he is. Because a lot of the PDF file people who are accused are sent to Castaic, which is still LA County, but a different jail campus. And they put a lot of the folks who are charged with those charges in the same unit or a dorm where y'all all in the same boat, so ain't nobody tripping. But in David's case, he's both famous and that. So I guess for security reasons, they decided to put him in a single man cell. They also don't let them walk alone. Like sometimes officers or sheriffs will let you hey, follow the line down the hallway and then you walk to the location you're going to. No. When you're in orange, sheriffs escort you everywhere you go. So you're not by yourself. But David ain't exactly safe, is what I'm saying. Because people don't even know the number of folks who die in the county jail all the time. Now, I know he's infamous and people know him, so they're not going to want to be, looked at crazy if he dies in jail. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, it rocks and rolls in the county jail. It is not a place I would want my worst enemy to spend any evenings. So, but they've having a rough time in there.
Shit. And what I think she's trying to say is, there's deaths that happen that you don't even know. What she's saying is there's undocumented deaths in that jail. I'm pretty sure. I mean, listen, obviously I can't prove that, but the LA County jail, fuck me, bro. Shit. No, thank you. I'm pussy. I'm scary. Don't put me in there, please. Fuck all that. Hell no. No, that shit is crazy. She said there's deaths that happen all the time that people don't know about. I know what she mean by that. Man, motherfuckers listen. Anyways, that's where David is. I hope he makes himself some friends. And of all places, they say that they don't really care about chomos like that anymore. But of all places, being labeled a chomo in California might be one of the last real dangerous places to be labeled that. So hopefully nobody else really knows what he's in there for. They'll kill you for sport, not even because they have morals. It's just a reason to go kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I want to show you what somebody had posted about David's cell conditions. This was posted by Say Cheese, I believe, initially. And it says right here, it says he's being held in a segregated cell, escorted from his cell to the shower, like the woman said, which he is allowed every other day. So we already know that motherfucker stink. And if you look at this picture right here, blow it up, editor. If you look at this picture right here, he looked like he stank. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers stank in there. He probably hadn't had a bath for 3 days before going to jail. So you already know he's experienced in his own smells. What else do we have? Only allowed to make phone calls on the days he can shower, so that's every other day. That sounds like cruel and unusual torture to me. Like, why can't he shower every day? I'm not advocating for a shower. I'm just curious as to why bro can't shower every day. God damn, is it that much of a drought out here in LA? Shit. Fuck them. Let them go for 3 days. I don't really care. Again, I'm not advocating for it. Um, Gets 3 hour recreation time with fresh air per week. Oh, 3 hours per week. That means blood is getting like 30 minutes a day or some shit like that. Ooh, crucial. That's crucial. That's probably why he's losing so much weight. Has no contact with other inmates during recreation, no access to TV. Fuck. Cannot have visitors at this time. Reportedly has no money on his books right now. So listen, your boy is going through some real individualistic shit right now. That's not how you say it. He's going through some real, he's exploring his own body right now. He's exploring his own mind right now because that's all he can do. No TV, so I'm assuming no tablet, right? And just no entertainment. Bro's over there suffering and it feels so good, right? But check this out. Somebody uploaded some recent information about David and something popped up to me, right? It says Burke David, middle name Anthony, sex male, race black, date of birth 3/28/2005. Shit. I was already playing with toys when this motherfucker was just getting his ass wiped. Damn. He's kind of, how old is David? 21? Yeah, he's 21. Born 28, 2005, age 21, hair black, eyes brown, height 5'5", so he's a short little bitch. I'm sorry. And this is what stood out to me. God damn it, he's 5'5"? Jesus. Nothing against my 5'5" brothers out there, but just saying. He didn't look that short. His weight, 125 pounds. Now I'll tell you this much: being 5'5" as a grown man, you're not supposed to be 125 pounds. We're talking at least 140, right? Or at least 135 or something. Your boy is over there stressing, not eating. I'm like 160, 165. I'm 5'11". I'm kind of on the skinny side, right? I'm super on the skinny side. This guy is 5'5", 125. Mind you, I'm super skinny, weighing at like 160, 165. I could probably push like 170, 180 if I really tried, right? This kid is over here suffering. You could probably lift him up and bench him. And that's exactly what they finna do to him in prison too. Hey, come here, little boy. They're gonna start benching him. Then after that, they're gonna start bitching him. I'm telling you guys, just wait. After he goes through this little protective custody, he gets sentenced, he actually goes to jail. David's about to get entered, for lack of better words. But let's move forward to today. Let's move forward to the preliminary hearing. And there's something that SF Investigates had pointed out that I want to read to you. It seems as though the courtroom is only allowing 10 people to come in and view. 10 public seats and 10 standby seats for the preliminary hearing. And I feel like that's kind of odd. So let me read this to you real fast and let me explain. So the other day, SF Investigates had posted something and it kind of caught my attention. It says, the court is allowing only 3 members of the public into the preliminary hearing for the David case. This is outrageous and not how public access to the court should work. There is supposed to be a reasonable balance between seating for the press and seating for the public. This is a large courtroom, yet only 10 seats are being made available to the public. Her family has not appeared previously, and they could be called as witnesses, so they shouldn't be in the gallery anyway. So they're not being held for that purpose. Not to mention, they are not allowing cameras even for the testimony that doesn't include CP. It says documents have been sealed through the case, and now access to the courtroom is being severely restricted. At this point, it feels as though they are making up their own rules. And listen, I'm not sure how things really work in the courtroom. I'm sure SF Investigates, the private investigator guy, knows a bit more than me. But I feel like they're following a trend now. Ever since Carmelo Anthony's case, where they restricted the amount of seats who could go into the courtroom, I feel like they're taking notes and they're like, yeah, we could restrict public too, just because we feel like it. I'm never for it. I think there should be transparency, but I'm not sure if it's actually illegal. Somebody in the comments let me know. But let's go ahead and read what the official LA County had to say. And I do want to say, as social media expands and things get a little bit more out of control with AI and stuff like that, I understand that the court has to implement some type of rule to keep the case safe from being tampered with. But I feel like you can have that viewpoint and take it too far. And I feel like limiting 10 seats during the preliminary hearing in fucking Los Angeles, California courtrooms, I feel like that's a little too far. You're doing too much. People deserve to know, and people deserve to have reporters go in there and record it and get their information from work if they don't feel like going to the courthouse. I feel like it's just a little too secretive for my likings. Let me read this bullshit document real fast, then we'll move forward to today. So it says the People versus David Burke. Information for the public. The court will hold a public lottery. Oh, so it's just random. Public lottery for public seats for the preliminary hearing beginning on July 21st, 2026. The preliminary hearing in the case, the People versus David Burke, is scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, in the Department 105 on the ninth floor of the Clara Shortridge. Is that correct? Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center, located blah, 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 and it's going to be Judge Charlene F. Olmedo presiding. The preliminary hearing is scheduled to last 3 days. I did not know that. So this is going to be a good dump of information. And this is where everybody gets angry, right? It's the first thing right here. It says the court will conduct a public lottery a public lottery for 10 public seats and 10 standby seats from 7:30 to 8:15 a.m. in the first floor lobby area of the Clara Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center. On each day of the preliminary hearing, beginning on Tuesday, July 21st through Thursday, July 23rd. All approvals for courtroom seating for the media have been distributed by the court's Media Affairs Division. No further requests for courtroom media seating will be accepted. You basically understand what I'm saying, right? It's going to be a handful of people in there. And I don't know if they're doing that because one, they want to protect the family, or two, they don't want too much getting out, but there's no reason that makes too much sense to me. None of that really makes sense to me. And I'm not going down any conspiracy path, but I feel like the courtroom is doing a little too much. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Let's move forward to the few things that we know so far, because we do have reporters on the ground floor and they're kind of updating as time goes on. So this will be my first video, update number 1. And as the hearing continues to go through, we'll be able to jack straight into where we left off. So let's check this out. First and foremost, it was posted by Lauren Collin. Let's see what she had to say. So here we go. It says, David's preliminary hearing. Court is on a brief recess. I'll post full video update at lunch with everything that happened this morning. For now, here are some of the biggest moments from testimony so far. I'm going backward. Trigger warning, the evidence discussed is shown in the court is extremely graphic. David appeared in court without handcuffs, but remained restrained with a waist chain. Oh, so I guess he got what he wanted. I would have took him in that courtroom with handcuffs. Fuck you and all your requests. That's just how I feel personally, but I guess they didn't mind letting his hands free. Throughout the proceedings, he appeared calm and relaxed, sitting back in his chair. As prosecutors displayed graphic crime scene photographs, he kept his eyes fixed on the courtroom monitors and did not appear to look away. Very striking. DA Hotchman is sitting in the second row. And now we move on to state's second witness. LAPD robbery homicide detective Joshua Byers testified he responded to the Hollywood tow yard on September 8, 2025, after employees reported a strong odor coming from the back of a Tesla registered to David Burke. Sorry, a black Tesla registered to David Burke. Detective Joshua Byers testified investigators obtained a search warrant after the tow yard employees reported the odor. Inside the Tesla front trunk, they discovered a partially unzipped black body bag containing dismembered human remains. And I mean, let's just continue. Hold on. I had a hard time looking at the photographs and exhibits shown in the court today, as did several other reporters. David, however, never appeared to look away. He kept his eyes fixed on the screen for the entire procession. And I mean, I'm glad I'm not a reporter to that level, because I fuck me, I'm not doing that. And that's why that's why I'm on YouTube and I'm not up there. I mean, I've seen some horrendous photos since I've started my YouTube channel, but yeah, so the fact that David is comfortable looking at that kind of gives me the idea that he's seen it already. So it's not as much of a shock to him. It might be grotesque, it might be shocking for him, but he's prepared to see that because he did it, right? And I mean, we're talking about stuff that pins him to the wall. We've gotten the form of evidence before by prosecution, and they showed how he ordered things from Amazon. He got the chainsaws, he got the body bags, he got this and that. The fact that you have history purchasing a body bag and that body bag is found in the Tesla, there's just so much evidence going against him. There's no way I could ever see him getting off. But again, OJ got off, so you never could really seal the deal yet, but holy shit, there's so much pinning this guy down. I don't know how he's gonna get out of this one. But let's keep going. And now it says graphic. We were shown photographs from inside the Tesla's front trunk depicting the body bag with severed limbs, arms, and legs covered in blood, insect activity, and decomposing. The bags and the body parts were wet and bloody, and we saw the bag closed inside the front and then opened on the ground. And it's like, what do you even wear to handle that shit as a police officer? It's like, do you just breathe it in, or do you? I can't imagine this guy. This is a horrific human being, and the fact that he just, and you know his little face that he made in the last court proceeding. He was like, you know, that little smug little bitch face he has. I can imagine he's looking at the evidence just like that, like this shit's not phasing him. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe he's just a true blue psychopath. But anyways, let's keep going. Detective Byers testified the remains also included a torso, head, and severed extremities. We saw another bloody photo of the head and torso, and I believed I saw some black curly hair. He also noted blue plastic or fiber fragments embedded in the cut surfaces of some limbs included near the kneecap, and that's what we assume is the kiddie pool that he purchased on Amazon. Detective Byers further testified the victim's left ring finger and pinky finger had been amputated, along with the right index finger with the sh. Due to advanced decomposition, he said he could not identify the victim's face because of the skin slippage. First state witness. So let's move forward. We have a state witness now. That shit is fucked, bro. I really wonder what his plan was. He probably just was like, she'll just decompose in the car and then I'll throw her bones away or something. I don't know. He probably had some dumbass reality in his head that was going to play out so smoothly. And you can't even go and crush a Tesla like an old car, like, you know, like a Civic from 2009 or something. Like, you commit the murder and you just go crush the Civic in a tow yard. Them Teslas have them explosive ass batteries in them bitches. You can't just go ahead and crush the Tesla. He really wasn't thinking. You were gonna get caught, gang. The car was registered to you, you fucking clown. Anyway, so it says first state witness. The prosecution's first witness, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Senior Deputy Juan Gonzalez, testified he responded to David Burke's home on February 17, 2024 to conduct a welfare check after Riverside County investigators reported a 13-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez missing. Deputy Juan Gonzalez testified David Burke told him he met Celeste through social media and Discord in 2020 and 2021. He had only met her once in person and believed that she was 18 years old because she told me she was 18 years old. What a fucking cocksucker. Deputy Gonzalez testified that Burke told investigators the last time he spoke with Celeste was February 13, 2024, and the last time he saw her was November 12, 2023. So she would have been 12. She would have been 12 the last time he spoke to her. What did that doesn't even make And then the police are just going to be like, oh yeah, la-di-da, that sounds good, Mr. Burke. Like, why didn't we look deeper into this? Anyway, I guess the police are really the cleanup crew. They don't really prevent shit. Every once in a while, you'll be like, oh wow, the cop actually prevented something horrible from happening. That's cool. Typically, they don't do shit till something bad happens, but you know, it is what it is, bro. Let me move forward. Burke also showed deputies a sixth grade yearbook photo of Celeste and a missing persons flyer during the welfare check. Of note, Celeste looked about 11 years old on the yearbook photo David had, and she was wearing a Batman sweatshirt, and I believe we've seen that. And she does look 11. We've seen those photos. I don't believe we have seen those photos. We've seen that Batman shirt, black Batman, yellow emblem, Celeste with curly hair smiling photo. We've seen it. Pretty young girl. How old? Probably 11, probably 12. Anyway, this shit is sick, bro. Anyways, note Celeste, blah, 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 11 years old, yearbook photo David had, and she was wearing a Batman sweatshirt. Deputies searched Burke's Doheny Drive home with his consent while looking for Celeste. Gonzalez testified he noticed some Hello Kitty items, but said Burke explained that it was an artist's house where other people frequently stayed. And we know that David likes Hello Kitty because he's a fucking creep. And then it continues. Body camera footage shown in court captured Burke telling deputies, she told me she was 18, but everyone's saying she's 13, while providing Celeste's phone number and discussing how they met. My brother in Christ. My brother in Christ. When my grown ass passes by a 13-year-old, or when my grown ass, well, I haven't had a conversation with a 13-year-old in a long time. But if I were to have a conversation with a 13-year-old girl, guess what? I would know she was 13 fucking years old. You smelling what I'm shitting? I hope you're smelling what I'm shitting right now. You don't need somebody to be like, hey, bro, by the way, she's 13. No, you should know that, you sick fuck. Oh, yeah, they told me she was 18. My brother in Christ. You need to have a 5-minute conversation with 2 minutes of a conversation could confirm to you that this girl was 13. Anyways, that's the most bullshit explanation I've ever heard. Oh, well, they told me she was 18. Bro, she's 13. You don't need somebody to tell you something's gonna be going off on that radar if she's actually. Anyways, during cross-examination, Burke's attorney Regina Peter emphasized that Burke was cooperative, voluntary, provided Celeste information, and repeatedly stated he believed she was 18. I don't give a fuck. Her face and body says she's 13. I don't give a fuck if somebody told you she was 18. What are we doing? On redirect, prosecutors asked whether Burke ever told deputies he had been in a sexual relationship with Celeste or helped her leave her home. As defense was insinuating he had been cooperative with officers and told the truth. Defense attorneys objected before the questions were answered, and the judge sustained the objection. Much more later. And that's pretty much what we know so far, folks. It's a little bit of a shit show. In my honest opinion, the attorneys who are supporting, who are The attorneys covering up for David are scumbags. I know it's just their job, but I feel like they're scumbags. This is an open and shut case, but if for some reason this turns out into, ooh, maybe David's innocent, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Hopefully he goes to jail for a very long time. We'll see what this preliminary hearing leads to. And until then, folks, you know what I mean? Stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all. Peace. Don't be a dumbass. And don't mess with young girls. It's quite a simple life to live. Simple rules. Anyways, I'm out.